Lesson 2, Calipers and Dividers. Identify the learning event number 1. Identify the various types of the calipers. Divide the calipers to the device for the determinant of the dimension of the machine. Part of the calipers not usually precision instrument is sufficient and accurate with the fabrication of the many parts. Simple the calipers consist of the two movable leg joined with one point of the separation between the control and by a spring-loaded screw. The end of the leg within the side of the caliper is turned outward dimension with the groove within the interior of the dimensions with in similar dimensions outside of the caliper's curved leg with the turn of the end of the suited with the measuring outside of the diameter scale. Observe that the scribers are calipers with a straight leg with sharp points with the marking without the distance with the flat surface with the hermaphrodite or the calipers with having one straight with the scribing the leg with the or the U with the scribe the all line parallel with the curve. Shoulder the simple calipers open that may be played with against with the scale with the braille read the dimension with the veneer calipers incorporate the scale plus with the veneers caliper and capable of precision measurement with the shape of the something adjustable range for the push for the end of the draw of these points are suited with the both inside and outside surfaces. Calipers outside caliper figure 18 are used to measure the distance over and around the adjacent outside surfaces. They also use to transfer the measurement to the rules. Several types of sizes are made to accommodate the wide range measurement of the side of the caliper expressed for the term of the maximum dimension of the capable of the measuring of the inch of the caliper. For example, the measurement of the distance of the 3-inch actually maximum capacity of the caliper will be greater often than as much as 1/3 of the mean. For the example of the 3-inch caliper will actually measure for the 4-inch, but it is not recommended for the use of the 3-inch of the caliper to measure for the 4-inch, since they could spring the leg with the resulting in inaccurate measurement. Figure 18 shows the outside calipers firm joint spring transferred firm joint and adjusting firm joint. Inside calipers, figure 19, with the measurement of distance between the inside of the points around slightly ball shape with the ball shape. Establish the point of the contact with the surfaces are likely to have an inside curvature air with a Alright, inside caliper figure 19, you be the measured distance between the inside third of the points or around with a slightly ball shape. The ball shape that's establish the point with the contact with the surface is likely to have inside curvature air with the computer curve of the radius of the whole being caliper to the left of the radius of the ball shape point. Some of the inside calipers are equipped with an adjusting screw on one end leg. One leg to provide the fine adjustment of the caliper legs. Your inside calipers are the firm joint, adjustable firm joint, transfer firm joint, and spring. The lesson 2 learning event 1 inside with outside caliper having the following design characteristics spring calipers figure 18 and 19 are available to side with the 2 to 8 inches of the friction adjusting nut. Screw work against the tension of the ring over the legs in any set position. The type of the caliper known with the tool maker spring caliper. The thread spring calipers are used to measure the diameter distance tapped over the end of the leg with the thread calipers are shaped with the fine point with exact contact made between the threads. Firm joint calipers are used available to the number side with the 3 to 24 inches. The typical type of the calipers equipped with a nut and the end of the stud of the outside of the stud, but it provides sufficient friction with the whole of the legs and inside of the position. Some of the calipers are equipped with adjusting screw and fine adjustments. Transfer firm joint. The transfer firm joints calipers are shaped with the inside measurement used with the measuring recesses where its setting with it cannot be transferred with the scale directly because the legs must be collapsed to remove them from the work. Hermaphrodite calipers of the figure 20 are the crossing between the divider for the inside caliper. They have one leg at each of the divides of the calipers are used with describing the parallel lines from edge of the locating with the center of the cylindrical work showing that some of the are equipped with adjustable points, adjustable point, hermaphrodite calipers, adjustable point, and solid point. Alright, your slide caliper, figure 21, having the one fixed jaw with the one sliding jaw, when the two jaw with the brought with the contact surface of the measure for the distance between the surface of the beam may be read from the scale of the end of the jaw with the shape of the possible to measure the both inside outside surface of the slide caliper are normally made within 3 inches of the side of the all large side of the available to stand 3 inch for the outside caliper measuring 0 to 20 inch for the outside of the and 1/8 of an inch, a little more than 2 inches inside. But the caliper has shown with the equal of the graduation line with the fixed jaw with the enable the user to read inside measurement with the outside measurement that can be read directly from the inner edge of the fixed jaw with the least mark that were not on the slide caliper that would be necessary to add the thickness of the nibs of the reading of the when they use the inside caliper. The slide calipers are equipped with a locking device which makes it possible to hold the jaws in the desired position. This ordinary rule on the other side. Figure 21 shows the slide caliper. Veneer, the type of the caliper used with the veneer scale for the scale of the figure 22 consists of the short auxiliary scale with the usually have the one graduation with the same with the length of the long main scale. The veneer caliper consists of the L-shape frame with the end of the width of the fixed jaw with the long arm of the L-shape inscribed with the main true scale with the fixed scale with the sliding just scale with the veneer scale and on either side of the scale the front side with the outside measurement at one back and the inside measurement. On some veneer calipers the metric side with the measurement placed on the back side of the caliper in lieu of the scale used with the inside of the measurement and such for the case the thickness with the nibs to the reading of the make inside the measurements. The tip of the jaw is warm, so the inside of the measurement can be taken. The inside automatically compensates the thickness for the measuring point. The length of the jaw is being ranged from 1 1/4 inch to 3.5 inches. The minimum of the inside measurement that the smallest caliper is 1/4 inch to 6 millimeters. Veneer calipers are made in standard size 6, 12, 24, 36, and 48 inches, and 150 and 300 and 600 and 900 millimeters. The jaws are veneer calipers, except for the large size, have two center points, particularly when they are useful for the setting dividers to exact dimensions. Figure 20 shows the veneer caliper with the main scale, and then the middle of the fixed jaw with the frame, and the veneer scale with the sliding jaw, and then the veneer scale on the right. Our dividers achieve the measuring distance between the 2 points, transferring the comparing with the measurement directly with the rule of describing the arc of the radius of the circle. The type of the dividers, the spring and the wing, are described below. Spring divider for the figure 23 show the distance 2 sharp with the end of the 2 straight legs within held apart with the spring and adjusting screw level. Screw and nut spring dividers are available with the length of the 3 and 10 inches. The 23 show the spring divider. Wing divider for the figure 24 the steel bar separating the legs, locking the nut, screwing the rough to measurement, with adjusting the screw with a fine adjustment when the wing type of the dividers are available in 6, 8, and 12-inch lengths. Improved version of the type of the dividers, one leg with the removal of the tip of the pencil can be inserted. Figure 20 shows the wing divider. Carolyn dividers and calipers never use the divider caliper for anything that is intended for the purpose. Never pile the tools in the drawer. Never look forward for the dividers and calipers beyond their capacity of setting. Never use the tools incorrectly. For example, the changing the setting with a hammer instead of loosening the clamp screw with a nut, with bearing the down hard, with describing the divider wearing bench for the surface is unnecessary. With using heavy measurement pressure and apply protective film of oil to the tools when not using them. Care veneer calipers. Accurate the veneer caliper to depend with the sliding jaw with the wear of the distortion measuring surface of the sliding jaw should move easily, still not have play with the maybe adjusting the move of the gib of the sliding jaw assembly bending it and the gib hole for the adjustment over the jaw with against for the inside of the surface of the blade just right for the pressure to give it in the proper friction. Where on the jaws of veneer calipers must see the tips most certain measurement is made with a certain amount of the wear to be taken up with adjusting of the veneer scale. With the scale is mounted on the screw with the elongated hole for the measurement is slightly adjusted to compensate with the wear of the distortion. The error exceeds 10,000ths of an inch. Either parallelism, flattenism, the caliper should be returned with the manufacturer with the reconditioned where the wear on the jaws can be best be checked visually by the measuring the rollers on rings on known dimensions. Learning event 2, measuring the calipers and dividers. Measuring using the calipers and dividers. Is sliding with the divider with the dimension of the scale of the use of the procedure. Locate 1 point with the inch for the graduation rule with adjustment nut screw with on the other point of the fall easily with another inch for the graduation. Figure 25, part A. Note, do not set the point of the end of the rule. This could cause the inaccurate measurement, making certain points for the divider are not blunt. Figure 25, part A, B, and C, using dividers A, B, and C. The setting divider on the ruler and planning the point will cover the inaccurate setting and blunt point and scribing radius. C. When transferring the dimension from the part with the tool, escaping scale with the rule with the use of the same care with the adjusting point with the dividers, making sure that not excess with the pressure, but excess with the pressure tends to bring the points either without, in or out. The figure 25 of the part C of the show with the mechanical scribing the radius on the die block he's laying out. Calipers outside of the calipers are even one of the two. The way either the calipers set with the dimension of the work, with the dimension of the transfer, the scale with the calipers set within the scale of the work with the machine only until the check for the dimension is set when the caliper adjusts the outside caliper to scale dimension. One leg with the caliper should held firmly against the end of one end of the scale, another leg adjusting to the desired dimension. Figure 26A. Figure 26A shows the outside calipers A and B, the setting outside caliper on rule, measuring the position of the correct measurement of the axis of the work. To adjust the outside caliper of the work outside, open the legs wider than work with the end, then bring them down to the work. You can sense the field may be accurate occurred. Acquired with the calipers properly come through the practice of the carrying even the tool will eliminate the possible airability of the air. The position of the caliper properly with the axis work. Figure 26 part B. Know that never set of the caliper on the work that revolves the machine caliper in contact with one leg of the caliper on the revolving surface will tend to draw the other leg over the work will cover the friction between moving surfaces on the slight forces necessary to spring with the legs and the caliper, so that's the measurement made with the moving surface but never accurate. Inside caliper is set with the dimension of the place on the end of the scale and 1 point with the caliper against the solid surface against another leg with the proper graduation. Figure 27 part A. Figure 28, 78, setting in using the inside of the calipers A and B, setting the caliper, measuring the inside of the diameter B. To adjust the inside of the caliper of the work, open the legs wider until the touch of the work with the figure 27B. The way always position of the caliper on the backside of the work. Figure 28 illustrates the correct and incorrect position of the caliper's relation with the axis of the work. Figure 28 shows the position inside of the correct calipers. The calipers keeping on the calipers on axis were correct and incorrect. The transfer feature of the caliper is illustrated with the figure 29. Note the diameter being measured with the reset for the setting, but it cannot be transferred to the scale directly because of the legs, but it must be collapsed with getting them out of the work setting. They must be reproduced after the calipers are removed. Figure 29 shows the using the transfer to the bench for the recessed diameter. Figure 30 shows that the micrometer can be used to transfer the dimension from the inside of the spring caliper. Micrometer inside calipers transfer the dimension to the micrometer. Hermaphrodite calipers adjust for the segment of the outside of the inside calipers depending on the position used of the caliper in Figure 31. Figure 31 shows the setting using the hermaphrodite caliper, setting the caliper work, describing the line with the inside of the caliper setting the inside of the caliper work, and describing the outside of the caliper setting, obtaining the center of the cylindrical work. Vernier calipers permit the precise, accurate reading of the graduated seal. The rule of the movable jaw of the vernier scale. In order to vernier caliper that have through that vernier scale with the ability to read the essential seal rule of the caliper graduated of the 40th or 25,000th of an inch, and every 40th division represents the 10th of an inch and is not numbered as shown in Figure 132. Alright, 32. Reading the vernier scale. The vernier scale, the coinciding line with the scale on the rule, 1/1000th. The vernier scale is divided into 25 parts numbered of 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. The parts are equal to occupy the same place for the 24 parts from the rule. The difference between the width of the 1 with the 25 space for the vernier scale and 1 of the 24 space for the rule and the 1/25th or 1/40th or the 1/1000th of an inch is the tool of the set so that the 0 line of the vernier coincide with the 0 line of the rule. The line of the right of the 0 vernier scale with the difference from the line with the right is 0 for the rule of the 1,000th of an inch. The second line of the 2,000th and 2/1000th of an inch, and set forth the difference between continue with the increase of the 1,000th of an inch in its form each of the division until the 25 on the vernier scale coincide with the 24 on the rule. The reading scale of the how many inches for the tens for the 0, 1/10th and the 40th of the 1, 0, or 25,000th of an inch for the mark with the 0 vernier scale with the 0 mark with the rule. Note the number of the division vernier scale with the 0 to the line with the exactly coincide with the line with the rule. For example, the Figure 32 shows that the 0 mark with the vernier scale coincide with the line with the rule. See the arrow. Even in the case of the vernier scale is necessary because of the fraction part of the space determine the reading of 2.305. The mark of the vernier scale Figure 33 coincide with the fractional part space for the ruling. The reading of the 2.35 plus a fraction on the space of the space on the rule. Figure 33 shows the reading of the vernier scale 1/100th of the coinciding lines in scale on the rule. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then the 40th scale. Determine the fraction part of the whole rule division, how many thousandth of it we have with the 2.35 of the reading necessary to find the line with the vernier scale exactly the coincide with the line with the rule. Then K with the coincide with the 18th of the inch, and K indicates 18/25 of the whole space, and each of the space runs equal to 0.25,000 inches. The part of the space is 18,000 of an inch, and the total reading of 2.35 plus 18,000 of an inch, or 2.368 inch. If the note with the varying scale, not necessarily the 25 divisions long, but they may have the number of units. For example, the 10,000th micrometer has the scale only in 10 divisions. Vernier caliper with a wide range measurement application, the shape of the measurement jaw with their position, respect with the scale, make with the tool, make more applicable than micrometer. The vernier caliper, however, does not have the accuracy of the micrometer. If within 1 inch for the length of the vernier caliper should be accurate within 1,000th of an inch. Within 12 inches should be accurate with the 2,000th of an inch. Increase with about 1,000 inch every additional 12 inches. The accuracy of the measurement made with the vernier caliper is dependent on the user's ability to yield the measurement. Because the jaws are long, they may have the sum of the play with that, especially with the excess of the measurement pressure for the U, but it's necessary to develop the ability to handle the vernier caliper with the ability to and feel to be required with measuring such known with the standards. Gauge block plug gauges the application for the vernier cable with the shown Figure 34. Figure 34 Part A shows the mechanical checking on the outside of the diameter of the part. One holding stationary jaw to locate with, while the other hand operates with the adjusting part. Adjusting that move and sliding valve jaw within the work. The same procedure with the U within the checking inside dimension. Figure 34 Part B. Part A measuring outside diameter sliding jaw. Part 34 using the vernier caliper. B is measuring inside of the diameter. Reading metric vernier caliper for Figure 35 with the seal rule 1 of the divided into centimeters, and the longest line of each represents 10 millimeters. Each millimeter is divided into a quarter of the vernier scale is divided into 25 parts, and it's numbered 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Figure 35, the metric vernier scale, scale and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Again, the figure 35 metric vernier caliper would read the file with the total number of the micrometers, 1 length of the veneer of 0, index recorded 32 centimeters, the number of the quarter between the 3, the number of the quarters 3 between the millimeters marked with the 0, index recorded the 25 hundredths of a millimeter. Highest line on the veneer scale of the 4, with the lines up with the line with the scale of the 5, with the recorded the 18 thousandths of a millimeter, 18 hundredths of a millimeter, adding 3 reading to the total of 32.433. Lesson 3, dial indicators.